Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Simply Growing Food Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan. Today, we've got a special guest coming on the show, a local farmer and friend of ours, Venus from Little Dipper Farm. Now, if you listen to the show, you will know that Little Dipper Farm is where we have been pasture raising all of our meat birds this past season, and it worked out great. And we're looking forward to 2026. We got a lot of snow on the ground, but we're waiting for that grass to poke through. Can't wait. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to have Venus on. We're going to chat about her background, what they have going on up there, because, man, I tell you, it's a beautiful spot. That's what's coming up on the SGF. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Simply Growing Food Podcast. I am sitting down with Venus from Little Dipper Farm. How's it going, Venus?
It's going really well.
So, what do you think of this impromptu snowstorm?
I'm happy I have a Subaru.
Yeah. And you're close.
Yeah, I have close, yeah. A couple hills.
I didn't think it was going to get like this today, but here we are.
Yeah, I love it. It's beautiful.
So, I guess we'll start with just, you're from this area, aren't you, originally?
Yes, I was actually born at Day Kimball Hospital.
Okay.
I lived in Thompson for a while, and then my family moved to Putnam, Connecticut, where I spent most of my life. And when I went to college, I left for Boston. But between first grade and college, I was in Putnam, Connecticut.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So you already knew of this little, like, beautiful, quiet corner area.
So it's really funny that you say that, because, my friends from Boston are like, oh, you moved home. But I did not move home at all. Like, I knew of this, area, and I think I maybe, drove through it when I got my license, because I wanted to just drive all the time. But I did not understand, the real sense of, farmland and, agriculture that was, in this area.
Yeah.
Putnam was different.
Yeah, I know, for sure. Yeah. Putnam, most of my family is from Putnam, but I mean, the 30s and 40s, okay?
Yeah.
My dad grew up there, but before all that, before he was growing up in the 70s, there were a lot of farms in Putnam. And my family had a lot of, potato farms, primarily, out in that area. But then it changed. It definitely went full-blown mill town, put in a bunch of brick mills and started doing textiles.
Yeah, well, it's funny because my mom's parents are they're both passed, but they were actually antique dealers.
Oh, that's another big one.
Still.
Still.
I feel like I went to college and they're like, oh, what's Putnam? I was like, I don't know, antiques.
Antiques, yeah, yep.
Mostly. I didn't think about it as a mill town, because I think by the time I was paying attention, they were all
closed
down.
Yeah, right.
Now, they're,
Housing.
Yeah.
That's a separate issue.
Totally.
So you spent how many years in Massachusetts then?
So I went to college in Boston, and I lived there until officially July.
Of this year?
Yeah,
this
year.
Well, 2025.
Yeah, we sold our house, and we moved here full time, because before we were kind of commuting back and forth between 2021 and this past summer. So it's really nice. We haven't even had a full year.
Yeah.
There, waking up every day.
Are you gonna have a 1-year party?
We should.
You should.
We totally
yeah,
should.
that would be cool.
Okay, so July, mark your calendar.
Yeah, I'll be there. I definitely come. I remember when you guys moved in; it was great. Because we were going there starting in April last year, and we would hardly see anybody. It was like a ghost town. We see Bruce all the time, but we never saw you guys.
Yeah.
And then we started seeing you guys and getting to talk to you and know you, and that was cool. Happy we had that opportunity. So, what? I know, you were in education before you went into agriculture, but you're still doing some education in agriculture.
Yeah, I'd like to get back to education through the lens of agriculture
Sure.
and sustainable farming. I just have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
When we initially bought the property, I did not see in my future that I was going to be a first-generation farmer. I thought it would be definitely part of what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I think the more time we spent there, the more I realized that I just wanted to get a real handle on what it was that I was doing, because the more I was learning, like the more I was like loving what I was learning, and I felt sort of like that like little kid sponge was happening in like the best possible way.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I started teaching students at my school sort of what I was learning as I was learning it.
Yeah.
And then we had this big culmination field trip last fall, and I had the fifth graders come out, and they had
How many is that?
Programming. I think it was about 40.
Wow.
With some parents and
Jeez.
chaperones.
Yeah.
So it was. I love that.
Yeah.
So this is just a new way to educate.
Interesting.
It's like a totally different lens.
But why? I guess like what sparked your interest in farming?
So to be honest, I don't think that I initially thought of Little Dipper Farm as being a farmer, and like in the big scheme of things, I think it was part of why we were drawn to it, and we definitely wanted to have farming as part of what we were going to do. But I did work on a farm for a couple of years. I worked up at Hutchins Farm in Concord, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And that's really when I fell in love with food.
Gotcha.
In the sense of like the love and care that goes into food that's not covered in chemicals. Right? So it's an organic farm.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just learned so much, and I met so many cool people.
Was that your first like?
That's when I fell in love with farming.
Was that your first exposure to like
everything?
Food.
Yeah.
Big ag.
Right. I never thought about what I was eating.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I did because I've been a pretty
right. You're health conscious. Yeah.
But not like how it came to be.
Right. Right.
And then I worked on that farm for a while during my summers because I was in education.
Right. That works.
And it overlapped really well. I started in the spring and I went into late fall, so I was really tired at the end of my school year, but it was great. And that's really was the moment when farming sort of came into my view. Was working at that place. So when we thought about, if we were going to do this crazy thing, it was post-COVID. So really the big reason, was this idea of the world and what was happening around us. Yeah. And being able to be sustainable as a family is really what had our eyes on the farm. Yeah. That was a crazy thing that we did. Well, it's emerged into this other amazing thing, and our values for community have come in. Yeah. And our yearning to learn about food and how we grow it and how we care for our soil has just grown. Yeah. So it's definitely it has to be one of the oldest farms in the town. Yeah, right? I think from what I understand, it was always, I never really learned the term gentleman's farm. Okay. I think for a long time it was a farm that didn't really need to be worked. I think that they had animals. Yeah. But everyone knows about the golden lamb. Right, the golden lamb. Yeah, and it was this amazing place and these amazing people. Bob and Jimmy Booth, who ran it, were really cool, and Lori and I have learned a ton about them, and we have a lot of archived things from that were in the book. You have all those pictures. Yeah, that's amazing. And letters, and so it's all part of the story, right? It's like this history of what was there before we were there. Yeah. And it's really fun because Little Dipper Farm is its own, version of something there at that special place that's already steeped in history. Right. Yeah. Like the Golden Lamb's not the first iteration of this place. Right. It's been there 300 years, right? Yeah. So. I mean. Was it always? It couldn't have always been the Golden Lamb. No, so I think the reason that they opened the restaurant is because folks were coming in and getting size for suits. They were the someone in the family was the inventor of this metric thing that could size you, and so you go there. So people would be coming from these metropolitan areas, but there was nowhere to eat. So it's really interesting. There's actually a really cool book that Katie Bogart wrote or maybe collaborated with somebody. We have tons of copies of them. Oh, I'd love to check one out. And it's a great coffee table book. We give it to as many people as we can. Yeah. And to my knowledge, Katie Bogart was a Coke girl there, and her mom was a waitress, and then Jim Booth, the youngest son, married her. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. And they live in the old amalgamated textile mill, which they converted into their house. Oh, wow. So everyone always thinks it's part of the property because it looks like it. Does, yeah. It looks like it. Because it was. And it was. Yeah, right. Yeah. But they live there, and they're super nice, and they're next door, and Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Wow.
really fun.
I
feel
didn't
like
know
I'm
that.
constantly learning about history. There's so much, and I may have gotten something wrong, but
Centuries
Yeah.
of history,
yeah.
you know?
And Henry Booth, that's like a whole other person writing letters to the King of England, promoting peace. Like,
Really?
Very cool dude.
The guy that, like,
So the
the
grandfather.
namesake,
Yeah,
basically.
Yep.
Wow.
Super cool. So yeah, that's like a whole
Oh, that's neat.
journey.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We can
But
another day.
so what I thought was interesting is that place. My entire life has been a hay production farm. It's not been a veggie producing farm. Maybe a small garden or something. Whoever lived there. Now, who lived there before you?
I don't know exactly. I
Okay.
think there was a tenant, maybe.
Oh, okay. They were
Yeah,
renting it or
wasn't
something.
related to the family.
Got you.
Yeah.
So they probably weren't farming it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think that they were.
So it's been Francis, Tathan, right?
Yes,
Tathan's
yeah.
been doing all the hay and everything for
For many years.
As long
think
as I
he's
can
been handling
remember.
those fields since he was a little boy.
Yeah, right. And I'm sure he'll ham as long as he can, because I'm always surprised with how much they get out of there, honestly. When I see the truck go by with all the marshmallows on it, I'm like, geez, that's a lot of hay.
Yeah.
But they got cows, so they need it. So that's interesting. So when you first saw the property, you weren't like, farm.
Well, we were. We
Okay.
just weren't sure how we were going to get there.
Okay.
And so we knew a friend who had an agricultural background, and we knew we couldn't live there for whom, we
Until
were
you've-
just trying to,
yeah,
our,
changing
we had
life.
2 older kids, so
Right.
we wanted one of them to finish high school.
Oh, that's
the
right.
youngest one.
Yeah, right.
So it was all related.
Yeah.
So, but we had a farmer come, a friend of ours, live on the property for 2 years, and she really is the one that like broke ground and got everything up and running.
Got
And
it.
we really weren't sure what that was going to turn into. If she'd stay, she'd live nearby. But that's really like what we had as far as the farm side of things, because we couldn't. We were both working full time in Boston. So she did a great job.
Yeah.
She did an amazing job, like just opening one field at a time and doing soil provisions, and she really got everything up and running.
Did
That was the
she
beginning.
plant the elderberries?
She planted the
She
elderberries.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I have talked about the elderberries when I talk about the meat birds and everything, and I didn't know that that's who did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your plans this season with that area?
So,
With the elderberries
so
specifically.
This season, so I'm not really sure if you know this, but
Mm.
my knowledge around starting a farm, as far as seeds and starting from seed, not a lot of knowledge.
Mhm.
So I think the best way for me to learn is to do it.
Mm.
So I'm starting from a seed, and my goal is to grow similar to what we grew last year as far as like produce,
Yeah.
and then add some things, and that's really just like some partner planting things and see how it goes. It's a
Yeah.
little experimental. I'm very nervous, but I have some friends that are super knowledgeable, including Dylan Daigle.
Small plug.
I can ask questions when
Yeah.
things come up, because really, like, that is the best way to learn.
I learned, and I think I even talked about it on the show last summer, looking at your garden. Oh God, the buckwheat, planting buckwheat.
With your like
Yeah,
squashes.
I was like, geez,
Yeah.
duh.
Yeah, it's,
So we'll be doing the same thing. We did a lot of. See, you dialed it in with the amount of marigolds that you had. I think that was a huge bonus for the keeping the insects away and stuff. What I always make the mistake of, I'll put like a couple big marigolds throughout the rows, and I'm like, well, that's enough. It helps, but it's definitely not enough. You need like solid blocking, like you had.
I'm sure you saw it.
And I'm thinking like every other row, or maybe every other 3 rows this season, will just like pack with marigolds, because why not?
Right, and the end of the rows are always super helpful.
Yeah,
too.
yep, that's a good point.
Yep. So I'm learning a lot, but I'm not afraid to say, hey, I don't know how to do this. I need a little help.
Yeah, I don't know how to do most things. So.
Well,
You know.
that's one of the things that I realized. I was like, I feel like so much of this is just doing it and learning how to,
Yeah.
just learning from your mistakes.
Well, everyone's situation's different, so what
Yeah.
works at your farm might not work at mine, and we're all doing the same, but different.
Yeah. Yeah, and my day is like interesting. Like, I get to do tours. I get to work in the garden. I get to plan really cool events.
Yeah.
I get to collaborate with other farmers. The community it's been really fun getting involved and just sort of figuring out how we can sort of like not only be a farm that like has events, but also be a community farm. So we're just figuring out what that looks like.
Like a new
'Cause
town
it matters
hall.
to us,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that everybody that comes there feels like super welcome
Yeah.
from the moment they walk in.
I love the place. It's got a very good vibe to it, I would say. Both sides of the road.
Yeah.
Because there's a road that goes through this. Well, actually, two roads that go through this place.
Yeah, I know.
You're right at the fork.
I know, it's a lot.
Yeah, man. And I see, you freaked me out a few times watching people drive through there. I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, there's people living here now.
Yeah,
Like,
the cones help when we have events.
Yeah.
Big orange cones.
Yeah, right. I think, now that people know that this is a place again,
Yeah.
maybe they'll have a little bit more courtesy going through there. So you also got up a greenhouse last year.
Yes.
And you say that a little reluctantly.
Well, you were there. You saw me holding on to it while the wind was like taking us away.
That was a lot of fun.
I was flapping in the wind.
That is that is a really normal thing, I would say, on a farm.
Yeah.
That was a very normal experience.
Yeah.
Very much like any other greenhouse covering I've.
It was the first time for me.
Yeah, well, won't be the last either,
No,
man.
I've already volunteered to help someone else put up their green.
Did you? Yeah. I know you volunteered to help me too. I still haven't done it.
Yeah.
But I did get all the metal on it, and that was my main focus, taking down the other one we had, putting it onto that one.
The frame is everything.
The frame is, dude, my first one collapsed 3 days after I put it up. My first year in farming. I did it right after Thanksgiving because people were home, so I recruited help to cover it, and we covered it, but I didn't have,
Wiggle wire?
oh no, I didn't have a center ridge down the length of it, and I didn't have one like yours. It's like, mine's like a Quonset hut, so it's like perfectly rounded. And I don't really know. I didn't know at the time what I was really doing, so I was like, well, we got this greenhouse, let's put it together. Well,
The Lego set.
It went together pretty easily, but it took, we had like snow like this, but it was a little more icy, and the next morning I looked out and it was just caved in, and I was like, well, I had planned on growing in that space. In fact, some of it was planted already, because as soon as we covered it, I was like, sweet, it's already 80 in here, I'm going to put some seeds in the ground, but it was only like radishes or whatever, so they weren't even hurt by the cold they experienced. But that same day, the next day, we had extra hoops, got in there, got underneath the plastic, shoveled off the plastic with the snow shovel, got in there, undid all the arches that were busted. I still had the two end walls that were good. It didn't snap.
Okay.
But we're talking like, 2-inch round stainless steel, or galvanized steel, snap right in half. And then after that whole day, we got the arches out and replaced, and then went to Home Depot. This is not a plug, and got a bunch of wood and built a center ridge, and we've never had a problem since. But I didn't realize that, they say the arch is the strongest architectural shape. My small brain's like, well, this is an arch, right? I don't need any bracing. This is an arch. I already have the science of the Romans here, and that wasn't what was going on. In fact, I learned my lesson. Long story. This is taking me back.
You won't do that again.
Oh, never. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Oh, God. Okay. So, where were we? Greenhouse. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad Gavin got to experience it, because we haven't done that. He hasn't done that here yet. Covered a greenhouse. And like I said, that's so common. That felt like every greenhouse covering I'd ever been to. Where you're like, oh, it should be an hour, but it's really 2 and some change, because the wind is more than 3 miles an hour, So that being said, you got some stuff planted in there, right? Last fall or last summer?
We did manage to get some stuff planted in there. It was, we did some melons, we did a couple different varieties of cucumbers, we did our cherry tomatoes, and then a couple varieties of slicing tomatoes. But we did not even cover the full,
the whole house.
ground, right.
Do you have your hands in there right now?
Yeah.
Genius.
And
I love
know.
that. Yeah.
I was like, what are we going to do with these ladies?
Right into the house.
It
Yep.
worked out really nicely, and they've got you should see it in there. It's pretty fun.
I think you shared a picture the other day. I was like,
yeah.
because I was like, oh, it's a great idea. I see all these homesteaders and farmers on YouTube that use their high tunnels in the winter.
I'm seeing it everywhere now. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is a good idea.
I have a barn, and I'm like, man, I wish I could put them in my greenhouse, you know?
Yeah.
And just because the soil alone, like helping the soil with them just running
I do
around.
gotta kick them out soon, though.
Well,
just for bed prep and,
that's my next question. What do you got going on? Like, what's your first crop you're putting in there?
That's a great question. I'm starting some seeds indoor. I got a little station in the basement.
Yep.
Heating pad. Like I told you, so little knowledge around how to get that going. So on Monday, we have a list of things. I mean, it really depends on. I'm still laying out the season, right?
Yeah.
So like, I also have to learn about successions. Like, I don't want to plant full 30-foot rows for everything. Right.
Right.
So there's a list of like 5.
Yeah, but you're market growing though, like, because I know you got like wholesale accounts,
we do.
and
We've got 2.
and that's big.
Yeah.
And what is their main crop they want?
So last year there was a lot of different things that like the endive, we did a couple different varieties of squash that people don't grow that they liked. The Asian eggplant they love, the lettuce varieties.
Oh yeah, the Asian eggplant.
And so there's certain, the roasting peppers did really well. We did a couple of different varieties of peppers last year that did really well, because we also have a couple of chefs that are nearby.
Yeah.
The scallions and the roasting peppers and the spicy peppers and the lettuce varieties. So it's nice that they'll buy smaller scale. So we have two wholesale accounts and 2 or 3 chefs that, I'll send out the list and they'll say what they want, and then we have pickup days or drop-off days. So that kind of came organically, just because we know a couple chefs through other chefs that just want, good food.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Are you still going with the same guy from the last meal you went with? You did? Sorry, that was a really weird way to phrase it without dropping his name.
Oh, yeah.
The gentleman that cooked,
Yes, yep. So he did, his name's Andrew Trudeau.
Okay, yeah.
He's, he's been in the area for a while. He's worked for a number of different people. He's really great. We've liked working with him. He's going to do our dinner series this summer. So we've got a dinner starting in April. Every month with a different theme. The first one is called The Awakening.
I like it.
So there's going to be some different music, some different, lots of variety of entertainment that goes along with each dinner.
Yeah.
So you're coming really for an evening, for an experience.
That's kind of cool.
I know. I'm really excited about it.
What's the first dish, or what's the first meal at the first dinner?
Oh my gosh!
Really putting you on the spot.
No, and you just looked at it.
I did look at it.
Delicious, but I'm not even really sure what's at.
I looked at it when you sent it out. It was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
something like that.
I'm thinking of the August and July, the Feast by Fire.
I think this has chicken on it.
Yeah,
this first one's got chicken.
I don't know what that. Off the top of my head, I can't really remember what that menu is.
It's elegant.
I'm thinking about the entertainment.
Yeah. So what's the entertainment?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
Because there is like a surprise aspect.
Okay, that's fair.
I've been really focused on the entertainment because really he's taking care of the food aspect.
Got it.
And making sure like all the staffing and the florals, and then we're taking care of everything else. Right?
Oh,
so
okay.
it's kind of like a combination. So the food, that's like his baby.
Yeah.
He's going to source as much from us that he can, and anything he can't get from us, he's going to source locally.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. But I'm not really, even though the food is going to be amazing, and some of the menus I have in my brain, that one's not on the top of my head. I'm really just thinking about the whole experience. Like coming to the farm, walking in the barn doors, and just like having this great experience that's going to stay with you.
Yeah. It's definitely a place for that. Absolutely. It's a lot of people listening have probably driven by or maybe went there back in the day, but the Little Dipper is a really nice, serene place. I actually, in the intro, which maybe I'll let you listen to if you want to hear it, it just kind of, I talk about, you and what you got going on up there. But I really can't stress it enough. It's one of the nicest farms, picturesque-wise, in the area. And maybe that has something to do with the age. I don't know. They knew something we didn't know. But it overlooks that pond. How big is that pond?
That pond is 26 acres.
That's massive.
Yeah.
That's friggin' massive.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and from the sky, you can't see it, but it sort of wraps around. So it actually makes it really hard. There's a space. it's wetlands, but that almost connects. But the lake goes back there. But you can kayak through all the way.
Is it
the
deep?
back. There are different parts that are deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Interesting.
I know. So I've heard so many different stories. People want to tell stories, and I'm trying to sift out what's true and what's not.
Sure. Give me one. Give me a weird one. What do you got?
There was this big storm, and part of a barn roof flew off and is in the lake.
Oh.
And then another person was telling me that somewhere because it's obviously there's a dam there.
Right.
So
Well, yeah.
dam.
Okay. Yeah.
I have all the records. I think it was in the 20s. I might be wrong. But so that dam was built, and so some people say there's a stone wall that goes through somewhere on the lake through the water.
Oh.
So there's all these different, and I'm not really sure, but I'm really curious, what it would look like if that dam wasn't there. And obviously, that'd be a big problem for all the people that live below where the water's going. But I am kind of curious, the layout.
Yeah.
It would be very beautiful, but it would look very different.
Any treasure, you think? We got some.
Hey, maybe. I mean, I'm still finding treasures in our house.
Like
I've been fixing things. Under floorboards, we found little we found this old play. I'm telling you, the treasures to me.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool.
Out some coins we found.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how old?
Well, you have to think. It was it was a big coin. I don't know. We just found it. It was in one of the floorboards.
Oh.
I think it was early 1900s.
Wow.
It was something. Yeah, and so it's just you find all these weird. It's an old house. You
right.
Think about all the people that have lived there. It was built in the 1740s. Right. So now that we're doing some changes and updates, you're moving things around.
That's pre-America.
I know.
Pre the founding.
I'm thinking about that a lot this year because it's America's 250.
Yeah.
Right. And I love telling people that my house is older than America.
Yeah. That's a good segue. Tell me about the 250. Is it the 250 Club, 250 Committee? What is it?
Oh, in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So it's the 250 Committee.
Okay.
And we're just organizing all of these community events. We had our first one in December.
Okay.
It was called the Brooklyn Tea Party.
Hey.
So the kids came and did this thing where they decorated the ships like they did in the Boston Tea Party.
Sure.
And we had a little activity where they glued the tea bag top, and then we dunk it into this giant thing that I called the Boston Harbor.
Okay.
It's really just a galvanized tube, and we put water. It was really fun. It was cute. There was a lot of families that came out, and then the local librarian came out and told the story of the Boston Tea Party.
Okay.
So it's kind of events that try to touch upon history, music, food.
Yeah.
So we have our first event coming up in March. It's called the March to 250.
Oh yeah.
That's
okay.
a community-wide event where we're going to start marching or hiking or biking however you want to get your miles in as a family or individual, and you can post it to a community website.
Cool.
And the goal is for Brooklyn to get to 250 miles.
Okay.
Seems super attainable.
Yeah.
Especially if a family of 5 goes out and does a 2 or 3 mile hike or a bike ride. All those miles get to be multiplied by those 5 people, and they get to put them in as a family.
Yeah, that'll add up.
So it encourages your community to move, and it's sort of this goal. So we're gonna do that. And each event you go to, you get a little stamp, a little card, and it creates a puzzle. So one of the members did this beautiful drawing, and they're all puzzle pieces. So you collect them at all of the events.
Wow.
We have a color run where you do this run, and you get you wear your white shirt, and it's powder, so you're gonna have the red and the blue on a white shirt. So it's sort of a keepsake. And then we have some historical things. And one thing is really cool.
Yeah.
Is we have a reenactment of Israel Putnam.
Okay.
So we're not sure where that's going to be. We're trying to figure that out.
All right.
But the other thing is the Underground Railroad.
Oh,
so
yeah.
and tell the story. So that's sort of
coming to Little Dipper.
History.
Or
so they're all over the place.
Okay.
There are a few things that we're hosting. We're hosting there's a big bingo and trivia.
Oh, we wanted to go to that.
We scheduled a couple of times because of the snow.
Okay.
And then we winterized our barn, so now it's in April.
Now it's
yeah. So
missed
we're trying
it.
to do something, and then there's a big culminating event on July 4th.
Right. Okay.
At the Brooklyn Fairgrounds, and we're really organizing that so it's family friendly. We've talked about some fun little special things.
Can you give us a sneak peek?
Sneak peek, nothing is set in stone.
Okay.
But
we talking fireworks?
No fireworks, because we want to like do something during the day that's family
Okay,
friendly, so
okay.
that families can plan and go do their fireworks. Because people are already,
Yeah.
that would be a full crazy day, and this is really like
Oh, it's on the 4th. Duh.
it's actually
right.
on the 4th of July.
Got it.
We're like picturing some local entertainment, some music, maybe some trolley rides, and
Okay.
a history tour. Brooklyn is steeped in history.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
Yeah, I mean Israel Putnam is like a statue.
There
It's
is-
like the historical society.
Allegedly, he's in there.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh.
My kids are obsessed. We went and did like
Really?
a whole den tour. Went there after, did like a whole day.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
I mean, if you like history, this
Yeah,
is up
yeah.
there. And the town hall, I've heard all sorts of things about what that's been used for. So it's really cool. I don't know. Brooklyn is cooler than I thought.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't think about it. I just never thought about it. But now
Yeah.
that I live here, I'm like, what's going on?
No, yeah, I know what you mean. I don't think, I probably have the same view. I know there's history because it's old. It's so old. But, yeah, I just always assumed
I
it was
didn't
lame.
know that the agricultural fair in Brooklyn was literally the oldest agricultural
Yeah.
fair in the country.
In the country.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's we don't have a lot to talk about, but
We got some
we
things.
got the friggin' oldest fair in the country, so that means
We got some
something.
cute places. Yeah.
Is the event at the fairgrounds gonna have food?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Food trucks
Yeah.
and family-friendly events.
Mhm.
We want to do a pie eating contest.
Sure.
We want to do some like local art that the kids have been working on throughout the year.
Mm.
Because throughout the town there's organized events. So we're thinking about how to highlight those. One of the things we thought. What do you think about this, Dylan?
Yeah, what do you got?
So this town is really old,
Yeah.
right? A lot of people have lived here a long time. What do you think if we sent something out to the community? It was like, do you have some kind of cool artifact that you would want to bring and create this like kind of moving museum?
Ooh.
And you could be there, or you could just leave something written about the piece that you have.
Yeah.
I feel like there would be some cool things.
Oh, that's a
right?
cool idea.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, 250 years is a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have a lot of farmers.
Right.
A lot of older farmers
Yeah.
that have been doing agricultural events and the fair for however many decades. I bet you they have a bunch of cool like old tools and stuff. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. What would you call it?
Call
The idea, like people bringing in and
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I thought you meant like the event.
Yeah.
We're still playing around with that.
Oh, like a
Community,
name.
Family community 250. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're working on it. But I don't know what we call that. And I also, because it's like one of the things that is super different for me here than it was in Boston is like I just go out my door and I see like 9 neighbors.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Now I go out my door and I see my chickens.
Right.
I see my chickens like.
And a
I was
house
telling-
way down there.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just telling my friend, like, I used to go outside and see someone, and now I just, like, memorized whose truck that was.
Yeah, right. It's a good way to look
Yeah,
at it.
it's just, like, funny. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I know that one. Oh, whatever.
Interesting. I gotta flesh it out more in my head, but, like, I wanted to do some kind of, like, the Highland Games? You don't know the Highland Games? Well,
I don't think so.
the Brooklyn Fairgrounds are the new home of the Highland Games.
I've heard, okay, tell me a
Okay.
little bit more.
So, I'm not Scottish by any means, but I love their whole, like, caber toss and hay bale throw. They do, like, competitions.
How do you get to go to this?
It's free to the public.
Oh.
Yeah, well, it used to be at the Scotland Fairgrounds in Scotland, Connecticut.
Okay.
And they have outgrown it. I used to go when it was real small. One of my good buddies' brothers plays bagpipes. Yeah.
That would be really cool. Okay, keep
No, it is super cool
Yeah.
because then like all these bagpipists get together and play and do these like the drums and all this stuff. But I would always go for the Highland Games, which is like their version of the Olympics, basically. And it's like super old school, just like maybe not just shows of strength, but like technique and all this stuff. And they have a women's division and a men's division, and watching people throw telephone poles in the air and stuff. Have you ever seen any of this?
We asked them to be part of our July 4th.
Dude, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well,
I'm intrigued.
so now they do it at the Brooklyn Fair because they needed more space.
Okay.
And I didn't go last year. We were out of town or something.
Can we go to can I come with you?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Dude, I love the Highland Games. And I'm sure now that it's there.
I love them and I just looked at it.
Oh, and they have a herding demonstration where they bring out the sheep and the collies and all this stuff. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
But I wanted to come up with another event called the Farm Olympics, because there's certain workouts that are named after farmers, like the farmer's carry or the hay bale toss or kettlebells. That's a farm thing. So all these things, and at the Highland Games, it's teams. So they all compete on the team, and I don't know exactly the grading method here, but it's like 5 dudes or 5 ladies on a team, and then they all do the thing, and then whatever. I wanted to do something like that with like farm events, like, you know, there's quite a few. I mean, you've carried a bucket.
House throw.
Oh, dude. Watching Tom Bacon scale that thing, I'm like, I'll never be able to do that. That was just like, holy crap, bro. I'd love to get him on the show too to talk about his honey production. Does he still? He still have? Right.
He actually went from 10 beehives to 22.
Whoa! Just at your spot.
Well, he does really. His bees do really well. They do terrible in Union. Apparently,
Interesting.
Union has horrible soil.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so he's got 22 beehives now up by the water. So he moved the location too.
Got you.
Everyone had to keep getting him out of the mud, doesn't it?
Dude, listen.
It's all right.
I have even talked about the amount of times I've been stuck in the mud this year. It became like my theme.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Stuck in the mud.
Stuck in the mud, you know, and not much mud. It's not deep mud.
Yeah.
Just stuck in the mud. But anyway, yeah, so I wanted to do like some kind of farm Olympic event like that, you know, teams. I'm sure you've carried a bucket full of grain or a bucket full of water more than 100 yards, and you're like, wow, I could feel this burn.
Yeah.
Things like that, throwing hay bales, catching a chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Simple, you know.
But there are muscles that you
Oh,
that you need
absolutely.
to stretch.
Well, and catching a chicken, now you're using your brain too, in a different method.
Yes.
You got to be the chicken, and that's a real thing.
I know.
How often do you catch chickens in season? I know it's snowing.
Right.
You know.
Well, we still do. We've been leaving the doors to the hoop house open because we've had some nicer days.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
out and about again.
Are they laying?
They're laying 60 to 70 eggs a week.
That's great, right?
Yeah. It's great. Like, they weren't, though, when they were outside in their other situation. We moved them inside. As soon as we did, they started laying like crazy.
Room to roam,
Yeah,
warmer
exactly,
maybe.
Exactly.
Wow.
So the chickens, that's a great question. That is something I sort of like let Lori take the reins.
The chickens.
Yeah, she's obsessed.
Good.
They're the bougiest chickens I've ever seen in my life. Everybody comments on how wonderful they look even in the middle of winter.
Oh,
like,
hey.
That's her.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Like,
No, do you have a rooster?
Frank? Yes.
Frank.
Yes.
He's got a name.
He is the man.
Is he?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but
What?
he had the hens like shitting in a line when he showed up.
I believe that.
Like, it was such a nightmare in that coop.
Yeah.
And he showed up and he had them all like in a line.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
They all serve a purpose.
Yeah.
You know,
He
livestock.
protects them too.
Yep.
Like, I watch him seeing the birds up ahead.
Yep.
And like he just makes some noise, and all the ladies, you know,
Yep.
those big trees.
Oh yeah.
They hide under there.
Yeah,
like,
roosters are almost necessary.
Yeah, we didn't have one for a long time.
Yeah.
I think because we had just always heard, didn't really have any experience like that.
Yeah.
We had little kids.
Right. Yeah.
Then we found Frank.
I have heard some horror stories for
One of the
roosters.
One of the loves of our lives.
Do you know what kind he is?
I have no idea.
What color is he?
He is a reddish brown. He's beautiful.
Okay.
We have to find out what he is. I
Yeah.
should know more about Frank.
Yeah. Well, hey. Did you get him locally?
Yeah, we did. Alex,
Cool.
who's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he was at Alex's house,
Gotcha.
and then Alex is like, "You guys need a rooster." I'm like, okay. He brought
Frank.
Frank's nice. He's chill.
Yeah.
He doesn't mess with the kids.
Spurs? No spurs?
Spurs? See?
Oh,
Spurs.
spurs. The little spurs at their ankle.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Those are removable.
I know. I think Alex did tell us that, but we're.
I've never done it, and
Yeah.
I've had chickens for like 15 years. I've never removed a rooster spur, but they say it's easy
Okay.
and it's relatively painless.
Okay.
Well, it's painless for us. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But they also grow back, kind of. You know.
It's going well. We're gonna leave.
It's going well. Yeah.
Let's not mess with anything.
Yeah. He might need them. You know, it's a
Yeah.
defense mechanism anyway. So
Yeah.
well, that's cool.
I
I
was
didn't
just
know.
gonna ask you that kind of like declawing a cat.
I don't know. I think it's more inhumane to declaw a cat. I I don't know. You know?
I'm just saying, like, in regards to, like, them being outdoors, because her cat
Yeah.
is indoor.
Oh,
Right
right.
now, she's only indoor.
And chickens are
Yeah.
outdoor.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to take anything away from them.
That's a fair point,
Yeah.
especially if he's not aggressive. Now, if he was being,
No, he's
Yeah.
so sweet.
yeah,
No.
Frank.
Right.
And how many hens you got?
I think one recently was just taken down.
Okay,
So I want to say 28.
perfect.
Yeah.
Are you gonna expand?
I don't know. I feel like we need to, like, build something more permanent.
Yeah.
We're gonna, just for the winter anyway.
Mm.
Although the hoop house is working really well. So actually, I don't know now that
I
we're
know,
doing this accidental. It was an accident. We didn't, like, nobody told us to do that.
It's a good game changer.
I was like, you know what, the soils kind of need some help.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna go outside.
And 28, 30 chickens, whatever, that's, I mean, they'll do a dent in there. I'm sure they have
Yeah,
from the time you put them in there.
Yep.
Now, did you leave all the plant matter in the fall?
Yep.
So they're just,
Yep.
yeah, that's awesome. That's only going to help everything.
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, so let's, before we close, let's talk about what kind of crops you got coming up, because I remember when we talked in the fall, you were going to kind of like go through and yay and nay a bunch of stuff. You know, we're going to do this again, we're not doing that again, we're doing this, we're going to double that.
More, like, some of the changes with what we had to do with waste, right?
Mhm.
So, like, we just grew too much. Like, I don't need 3 rows of Asian eggplant, right?
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah,
I just
even
don't.
with wholesale customers.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So we're doing a lot of the same things, like some basic things. We're doing more flowers. We're doing some partner planting, like the buckwheat and the marigolds. We did maybe 3 to 5 varieties of flowers. We're gonna do around the same. We're gonna do some snap peas. We're adding edamame.
Ooh.
Yeah. So.
That'll be neat.
Right, and I'm really growing it in that backfield that's terrible with drainage.
Okay.
Just to sort of like see how that helps. I don't know. I'm reading a lot about, what plants put into the ground. I know you have a lot more knowledge around that. I don't know if that's like doing or reading, but I'm doing a lot of reading right now because I have little experience farming.
But so much is going to come from doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I really saw the difference with the daikon radish.
Yeah.
One of our fields is just doing great, and that's because we've really been on top of the cover cropping. So it's sort of a mix of, we've already planted our garlic, our shallots.
Sure.
I want to do indoor-outdoor tomatoes.
Okay.
I want to do varieties of peppers again. They did really well.
Yeah. I know your peppers, dude.
I know.
They were amazing.
And we got to make. Our value-added products were great this year.
Yes.
Our salsas.
Yeah. Right.
And our pickled peppers.
I think we did.
I'm growing okra this year.
Really?
Super excited. Listen, I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm very excited about it. It's one of my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I think it started early. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
I've grown okra.
Okay, and?
Okay, and Pete down at Brooklyn Market, they're from India. Okra is a main dish for him. So I actually grew them kind of for him.
Okay.
And I've never eaten the okra I've grown. I've only sold the okra I've grown.
That's interesting.
Because it doesn't appeal to me whatsoever.
What about a pickled okra?
Listen, I've heard this argument, and I've just not gotten there.
Okay.
I'm not ruling it out.
I knew a lot of different families over the years that cooked with okra.
Yeah.
So I was able to eat it in, like, different dishes.
Well,
so that's why I was exposed to it. Otherwise, I'd probably look at it and be like,
yeah, what is this? Yeah. But I guess when you pick it, the thing you want to make sure of is if the tip breaks, it's good. You want it to. And they're only like that big when they're like ripe and ready to be picked. And perfect for eating. That's what I learned. Because I had never eaten the crop. So I'm like Pete's telling me, Pete and Manisha, they're telling me, do this when you grow it, because this is the best way that, we buy it at this size because of this and that. So it's tougher. Well, you're going to eat some. So it's tougher when you don't eat the plant, knowing how to take care of it, how to like pick it and all that stuff. But okra, it's a hibiscus. So it's like loves the heat, will die anything below 40, which makes it super sketchy putting it out in May because, could happen.
I know.
But once they get going, they just shoot right up.
And that is the nice thing of having the hoop house, though.
Yeah.
I'm starting a lot of things in there.
Do
So I'm
they?
excited about it.
Yeah, they probably have to go through pollination, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're beautiful.
I have you should see the schedule. It's color coded, and I know they probably make these for people, but I needed to make my own. So I literally one plant at a time was just making a study guide. I have to.
Yeah.
It's just the way I learn, and I'm writing it down, and because I am so fascinated by how everything germinates. It's really, that in itself is you don't know that unless you, you're paying attention.
Right.
And I wasn't paying attention to the beginning. I always came in once it was ready to plant thing.
Yeah.
They were ready to be planted.
It's a plant.
From there on,
Yeah.
I was so I'm starting from the other side, and I'm really excited about it. So my seeds came in. They're on the table. I'm making a map.
Are you a Johnny seed?
I ordered from Fedco.
Me too.
Yeah, I just feel better about that.
Yeah.
As a company.
Me too.
And nothing wrong with Johnny's. And
they
offer the $200,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which is super cool, but I was just gravitating toward everything I was reading, and so I have a lot to learn. A lot of people get from tons of places.
Oh, yeah.
I've been pulling little things from different places when I'm out and about. Actually, when I was just traveling,
I
brought some seeds home.
Nice.
From some local, I just
veggie seeds or something.
Flower seeds.
Flower seeds.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm what's the worst? Yeah, I'm excited.
Johnny's, I started with Johnny's when I started, and they were not as pricey.
Okay.
I've definitely watched this market of market gardeners, the supplies just continue to go up and up. And I mean even with seed, and you're all right guys, the microgreen seed, I want to show you our seed room and give you some stuff before you go, because we have a ton of seed trays and stuff that we get donated. So
that's amazing. Okay.
Please take some.
Awesome.
Also have 2 tickets for you. Cass got a bunch of tickets to the Garden Expo at Mohegan Sun this weekend. So if you guys are free, I got 2 tickets to give to you. Take them. If you go, you go. If you don't, you don't. I didn't know we were getting these free tickets, so I don't even know if we're going to make it ourselves.
Okay. That's pretty cool, though.
But yeah.
I love having the winter to think about and wrap your head around what you're going to do.
I hate it, because as soon as I want to go out and do it.
I know. It's true. But remember, I'm doing tours and all these.
I know.
Planning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is hard. It is so hard. You have to really regiment. You really have to make a schedule and plan your day. Otherwise, at the end of your day, you're like, what?
Yeah.
What just happened?
I know. And we just started a bunch of seeds, and that makes it almost worse because I didn't get my greenhouse up.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm well, maybe this tomorrow. Poor Gavin doesn't know it yet. But I think we're going to shovel out the sides and cover it.
Why not?
It's been 8 years since that soil has seen real rain and snow. And I actually think leaving it uncovered is actually going to help the soil a lot. Being able to acclimate and be normal for another 6 months, for the first time in 8 years.
Yeah.
I think it'll actually help in the long run. But what's going to be interesting is covering it and then seeing how long it takes for all the snow to melt inside it. That's what I'm looking forward to. Seeing how many weeks. Hopefully it doesn't take weeks, because some days it gets to 80, 90 in there, and it's 20 outside.
Yeah.
But I might not even hook up the wood stove. Before I forget, have you thought about heating yours? Your house? Yeah.
And we actually, we did talk about that, but not for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really could extend, but that's the thing. It's what direction are we going to go in? How are we going to grow? What are we going to grow? Is it worth it to heat it?
Is it worth it? Yeah.
So.
I kind of ruled it wasn't. And we burn wood for it.
Yeah.
And I'm I don't even want to go stoke it. I don't even want to, because I know what we make roughly through the winter on vegetables, and it's limited. There's only certain things, and if you miss that wood stove once, it gets zapped. It's not perfect. You might have some rot in your romaine. It's just, winter growing is way tougher than in season, obviously. Not a lot of bugs.
Right.
But,
You're constantly doing
you have no light and you have no heat. So it's the 2 things you really do need. But I kind of miss it. I wish I would have done it. I'm happy I didn't. I'm sure the greenhouse will be better growing this season, and I took the time this winter to not do a whole lot. So I'm happy about that. But at the same time now I'm I got my hands dirty the other day, and I'm I just wish I could go stay dirty.
Yeah.
Work in the greenhouse when it's 80 degrees in there and just do some stuff, So I kind of miss that. But, whatever.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So that's cool. I did find some cool diesel heaters, I know, for greenhouses. That may or may not be the way I go, just for the consistency. Because the wood stove is great.
Right,
but if I'm not here,
right.
You know what it's like if you're not at your farm and you're paying someone to do what you got to do. It's just not always going to be right. No matter how much you love that person and how great they are, it's just not always going to be right.
You have your own vision.
Exactly, and your own routines. And even when we went to South Carolina last month, my dad watched the farm. Not a lot going on. But some of the things he ended up doing, I'm like, what the hell were you even thinking? Nothing went wrong, but he just didn't know how I did it. So it was just like, okay, let's just guess. No, carry it like this. All the way down to I look at it I put the bucket like this so that when I go to walk it 100 yards, it's not so bad or whatever. There's always something, and then that's always when people are like, you do that every day. You're like, well, I got a way that it's not so bad,
My way is better.
My way is better, for sure, yeah. But anyway, yeah, we'll wrap it up with that. Venus, it was always good to chat with you. But good to get some background on you and the farm.
Yeah, you have to check in with me after this year.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm very excited to sort of explore what this was like.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a certain point where I'm like, okay, I got this, but right up and from now till then, whatever that point is, I'm gonna be like, what?
Well,
what's going on?
I know another big thing was compost.
Yeah.
You have to source some.
Super interested in compost, but again, the more you read, find cows that aren't being. It's complicated.
Yeah, that's. Ooh.
It's a thing.
Ooh.
It's a thing, but I just found a farm.
Really?
I'm not telling you what it is.
You found a farm with clean cow poo.
No, so seriously, she called about a wedding for her daughter.
Okay.
And then we discovered she has a farm, and she told me all about it. It's a great farm.
Sweet.
Grass-fed cows.
Yeah, yeah.
They sell to 30 families, super cool. So we'll talk about that off the
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Because I asked her all those questions.
Yeah.
I felt comfortable saying, is it okay to ask somebody if they give their cows?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yes it is, and no we don't.
Wow.
And they don't even feed their cows GMO.
Yeah.
Anything.
It's funny you say that.
I didn't even you just don't think about it, but really it matters.
Yeah, no.
It matters if it matters to you.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, for sure. And we've gone back and forth with this whole GMO thing, and the newest thing is people want to know if our chickens are fed soy and corn. And they are. It's local, it's fresh, some of it's non-GMO. It's as best as I can do at the moment. But we've been toying with this idea for our last batch of meat birds, having a custom blend made, because of course you got to get a certain amount. It's 4 times the cost. It's legitimately 4 times the cost per pound of meat bird food that's not got corn and soy, and raising a batch strictly on that,
and seeing if it makes a difference.
And seeing if it makes a difference. We've even reached out to Yukon for testing of the meat, because we want to know, are there traces of glyphosate?
Right, yeah.
Right? Because that's what everyone's trying to get away from.
Yep.
I don't know. And then it just started making me think of environment, the genetics of the chicken, where they came from, where they're growing.
Yeah, you have to be careful. Slippery slope.
Oh, dude, the rabbit hole, man, is
It's bad.
It's so bad.
I need to get out of the house.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what takes my mind off of all that stuff is at least we have access to fresh, humanely raised. There's definitely no chemicals in the processing of it. We feed it the best diet we can. We give it the best life we can. Yeah, things die. The weather hurts us sometimes, but we still have access to all this real food. Mm-hmm. And something I'm adding to the Flock Share program, you're hearing it first here, is make every meal real. And that's going to be our chicken slogan for the program.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Venus, you got anything else you want to say to anybody?
It's fun to think about the year ahead.
Yeah.
And, think about we got to from 2021. So
Yeah. Oh, dude. I know. We barely covered the journey.
Yeah, I know.
We'll have to have you back.
Yeah. I'll come back. I promise.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Simply Growing Food podcast. I hope you found it informational and educational. And if not, that's a shame. Bye-bye. Guys, if you're anything like me, your day starts the same pretty much every day. You wake up, you drag yourself over to the coffee pot, and you begin to brew yourself that sweet elixir that's going to keep you going all day. Now, where we differ is what's in that coffee pot. We're not big fans of the big commercial coffee companies. The flavor's just not there. We're big fans of Two Dogs Coffee Company, and for the past 2 seasons, that's all we've been drinking. And I mean literally 2 seasons, 2 full years. Two Dogs Coffee is the only coffee that we brew. Artisanally roasted, fresh to order, and ethically sourced, Two Dogs Coffee is the only thing that we've been drinking here at the farm. This is not a paid advertisement, okay? I just like them over there. Brittany and Gwillem, they do great business, and they create such a good product. I can't put it down. I'm having some right now. I'm a big fan of their original Frank's blend. Brazilian and Colombian beans, and it's a medium roast. Hints of caramel, chocolate, some other stuff. It's coffee. Two Dogs Coffee. Get some. I got all the fucking work I need. I got all the fucking work I need. I got all the fucking work I need. I got all